That new foil embossed smell. Welcome back to Comics with Drew. This is Drew, and today we are reviewing Cyberfrog Unfrogettable Tales number 2. This is the follow-up video to the review for Cyberfrog Unfrogettable Tales number 1. As you can see, this is by Ethan Van Sciver, Kyle Ritter, and Eric Weathers, and we have yet another beautiful foil embossed cover. Yes, yesterday I did say that it was chromium, but I had to correct that. Did a little bit more research. I found out that it is actually foil embossed, but it still looks fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful finish for a comic book. Just like Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales number 1, you can purchase Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales number 2 at the eBay store for Ethan Van Sciver. This was originally offered as a combination pack for the crowdfunding campaign for Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales, and now you can purchase them individually. They are $20 each. Just like number 1, number 2 starts off with the dedication page. All Caps Comics presents Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales. Created, written, and illustrated by Ethan Van Sciver, colors by Kyle Ritter, lettered by Eric Weathers, puzzle page again by 3D Robin. This book is dedicated to Ethan's family and to each and every fan who helped Cyberfrog to wake up again. Originally presented by Hall of Heroes in 1994. Also, like Unforgettable Tales number 1, we have a preface page here where Ethan talks about getting into comics and what was running through his 19-year-old head when he was creating Cyberfrog. In short, everything that was in the 90s pop culture was inspiring Cyberfrog. So, getting to the first page here, Butcher's Alley, Manhattan, New York. We were here last issue, remember? Sure you do. So one of the hallmarks of Cyberfrog, at least in the 1990s, is we have a lot of inner dialogue going on. This is a lot like Deadpool would come to do later on in the 1990s. You know, I wonder if Liefeld ripped off Van Sciver for Deadpool with the monologue. Full disclosure, I wasn't really that focused on comic books in the 90s. I was more focused on comic strips myself personally. But the comics that I have seen from the 90s, I don't see a lot of them that actually have this kind of inner dialogue that kind of goes on with the character kind of talking to the audience and acting a bit as a narrator. But here we have it for Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales number 2. It's almost like a retelling of number 1, much longer and much more disciplined narrative. We start off with yet another traffic band here. So like the first issue, we had traffic. There's some kind of organized crime gang, and Ethan doesn't really waste any time going straight for the gore. So we have a grappling meat hook here. Yeah, this book is for kids, guys. We have an inner monologue talking about how you properly use a meat hook, and Cyberfrog promptly threatens the traffic guys again. And let me tell you what, this dude here, he's in supremely excellent shape because he's just chilling out with a giant meat hook through his ribcage. So, I mean, that guy's almost like a supervillain there. I just want to bring attention to this particular word bubble, word up malefactors. You don't see word up malefactors very often. Mad props to 19-year-old or 20-year-old Ethan for writing that. So after Cyberfrog dispenses with traffic and their house band Rush Hour, we have another page here where basically he just introduces himself again, much like in issue 1, but a little bit more elaborate here. A funny thing that I'd like to point out here is Ethan is known for being a politically right person. However, here, apparently he's not a fan of Rush Limbaugh. So I wonder if he still hates Rush Limbaugh. Much like issue 1, issue 2 has another segue to a subplot, and the subplot is again involving Benjamin Riley. Benjamin Riley here is on a date somehow with a not super attractive girl here. Naturally, this girl is a big fan of a bunch of bands that Ethan hates in the 90s, so we know that she is an ill fate. I wanted to bring attention to this particular panel here on page 12, where Ben Riley kind of looks like All Might from My Hero Academia. I mean, that's pretty uncanny. To make a long story short, Deathfly winds up in apparently a 19-year-old's idea of what hell must be like with Kenny G and Barney here. It's pretty much the perspective you would expect from a 19-year-old in the mid-90s. Ultimately, Osiris decides that Deathfly should go kill Cyberfrog, and the reason why is because Cyberfrog kills killers. This is probably my favorite page in the entire book, and the reason why is because we have Ben Riley here as Deathfly, and he's got Cyberfrog, and he's trying to kill him, and Cyberfrog is incapable of taking this seriously. He's reading a book and he's playing the Banana Fana game where you pick a name and then you rhyme it with Banana Fana. So this page really just sums up both of these books, to tell you the truth. I think it's death from above and Cyberfrog not really caring. Apparently Ethan was offered a job designing wallpaper here, so that's a very important biographical note. You know, I actually might get on one of his live streams and give him a super chat and then ask him if he actually took that job or what happened. As you can imagine, Cyberfrog doesn't actually die after being dropped from on high. He lands lands on this dude here. Not unlike what happens in the Boys TV show and comic book where, you know, people randomly just get whacked, but Cyberfrog lands on this guy named Deadbolt here. I'm bringing this up here for a reason, and you'll find out in about a minute. Once Cyberfrog dusts himself off and realizes he's not dead, he decides that he's gonna go get the guy that tried to ace him, and the last page sees him going off to, I guess, accomplish that. Unforgettable Tales will continue. Yes, we will be waiting with bated breath. Bonus, again, we have another bonus page as evidenced by the word bonus here. Vintage Hall of Heroes era Cyberfrog ad. Now remember when I was talking about that Deadbolt guy? Well, apparently he's here, and apparently he survived. So don't feel too bad about Cyberfrog being dropped on top of him. I really wonder what happened to these guys here. So I have no idea who this is. I have no idea who this is. I have no idea who this is. Well, actually, no, I know who this is. This is Deadbolt. He just got killed, but apparently he's coming back in another comic for Hall of Heroes and the Hall of Fame. So imagine that. Look at us now. Cyberfrog raising millions of dollars, and we have no idea what happened to these guys. This is an advertisement for this actual very book here. Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales #2, Swatting Flies. And this kind of is similar to what happens in the storyline, but it doesn't exactly go quite like this. And spoiler alert, we don't really have any flies being swatted here. We have what amounts to an attempt from Deathfly to kill Cyberfrog, and he then survives and decides that he's going to seek revenge on him. And that's Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales #2. After the bonus page, we have Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet, full color, full page ad. Follow the continuing adventures of Cyberfrog and Heather as they navigate the wrecked planet, coming soon. Then we have some art for the upcoming book, and it looks phenomenal. So this is really, I guess, the first art that you have printed from Cyberfrog Wrecked Planet 2, to be perfectly honest with you. So that alone is one reason why you should get this book. You have the first appearance of all this art in print. Next page has a See Where It All Began, another full page, full color ad for Cyberfrog Warts and All. This is a hardcover edition, and this will be available for purchase on the eBay store shortly, and I will probably wind up picking that up because it's just a really cool product, I think. And then also, if you missed out on Cyberfrog Blood Honey, we have the full color, full page ad for this. You can also purchase this at the eBay store for Ethan. I highly recommend that you pick this up if you have not already. And again, we end with another puzzle page from Kelsin. Kelsin is not referenced in any of these books, at least that I can remember, but she is in Cyberfrog Blood Honey, and this puzzle page is presented by Kelsin. And again, we have a black page here, which again, I think they could have done something with, but it's already a packed book. And that is Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales #2. This book actually has a better story and better narrative structure than Cyberfrog #1. It actually, I think, is more of a well fleshed out version of that book. It's actually kind of the same book, to be perfectly honest with you. It's just a more professional, put together version of it. So if you want to look at it this way, the first one is a trial run. This one is more of a finished product. So it's definitely a better book. The story gets an 8 out of 10. The art, again, is a 10 out of 10. The art is phenomenal. This is actually not original art for the Cyberfrog covers. This is a redrawn cover. So, but the art, again, like I said, you got fantastic facial expressions. The color is phenomenal. Kyle Ritter is just crushing it. I mean, you can see the hazed out background here for the cityscape and again the moon. And again, Ethan here is with this massive amount of detail, and he's reflecting the surrounding environment in the chrome shoulders. I mean, this is just really phenomenal work for a comic book from the 90s. So you're definitely getting your money's worth there. So story, 8 out of 10. Art, 10 out of 10. Letters, well, yeah, about the letters. We still have some more issues. On page 10, panel 3, balloon 9, we have the word riveting. Riveting is spelled R-I-V-E-T-I-N-G. There are not 2 T's in riveting. On page 23, panel 3, balloon 1, we have I've been given another chance. Yeah, that should be another chance. Then on page 25, balloon 4, we have don't you just want to kiss me when I spelled off tough guy cliches. Now we have an apostrophe between the cliche E and the S. This is plural. This is not possessive. Cliches is not owning anything. I'm not even going to get into the puzzle page. It's the same thing from the last review, but overall, it's a great book. So I highly recommend that you pick it up. Cyberfrog Unforgettable Tales #2. You should also get #1, and you should also get Blood Honey, and you should also back Wrecked Planet. It's still available for backing. Ethan also actually has some action figures, which look freaking amazing. So definitely go check it out. I can't recommend it enough. And this is a great character, and getting to see the early days of the character is not something that a lot of people necessarily get a chance to do. And it's very, very rare and very special for someone to be able to bring back the original IP and for it to be as successful as Cyberfrog has been. Again, thanks for watching. If you have a book that you would like for me to review, just leave it in the comments and I'll take a look at it. Thanks for watching Comics with Drew. My name is Drew, and I'll catch you next time.